UBC Radio Network, your national preferred choice. We broadcast all over Uganda and beyond. Join us on 98 FM in Kampala, 99.4 FM Lira, and 97.4 FM Arua. UBC Radio, inspiring Uganda.
Hello listener, I welcome you to the Business Forum. Here we are to talk business, and this time round it's our month as ladies, and we are going to speak about women in business, how to stay in business, how to compete in business, and everything you need to know as a woman who is aspiring to be a business lady, who is already in business, and so on and so forth. You don't have to miss any bit of this program. Remember, it's on every Friday evening from 9:15 to 10 p.m. on UBC Radio with me, Maureen Katukunda. Before we go any further, I would like to ask the wonderful, brilliant, beautiful women with me tonight to say hello to you, to introduce themselves, and we'll be able to dive into our conversation tonight. It's time for business.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me. It's always an excitement and privilege to be back, and hopefully we make some sense of how women can move further. So my name is Helen Chirunda. I am CEO of Timport. Timport is a training deck where we train corporate companies from business classes, marketing, sales, branding, and insurance, which those are mainly the corporate side. I own a vocational school in Jinja, skilling, tailoring, cookery, plumbing, computer repairs, things that people can do wherever they can. And I will add one thing, Maureen, that I hadn't told you before. I also have tree farmer, so I have a whole plantation of trees. And that is where I need to tell you the story about the trees, because I really started small, but I not believe how high and how long. And in just 2 years, I own a whole plantation of trees. So wow. I'm glad to be here.
Wow. You're very welcome. And to you, Posha.
Hello, our listeners. I'm very pleased to be here and excited to be here. My name is Ora Posha. I am a lawyer by profession. I'm also a co-founder of Because of Her, a women's organization that prioritizes the preservation of women's history and celebrates women in Uganda who have created an impact here in Uganda and given back to the women's society here. I am also a florist by profession. That was my very first side hustle in campus. When I said, I'm tired of, asking my parents for money, I said, what can I get into? And I really love beautiful things. So I got into flowers, and it was what has been, kept me really moving here. So I'm really glad to be here on the business forum and to talk business with ladies, something that I'm really passionate about, and how to steer women to success.
Mm-hmm. Growing up, there is something I used to see running on social media. We have grown in a generation of social media. Yeah. Somehow, even when you're in senior 4, you can access the internet. Yeah. And there's been this meme, I don't know if it's a meme or a quote, that a woman's security is that little money in your pocket. However little. But a woman's greatest security is that money in your pocket. And how do we get to put this money in our pockets? Sometimes we have to be enterprising. We have to have that mind. You have to think about something. You have to do a business. We all have 24 hours a day, and we have to utilize it. Usually, many of the times when you call ladies, women, and they're like, "Oh, I'm busy." What are you busy doing? Are you busy doing things? I always tell people on the business forum that while you are busy, I hope you're busy doing things that can at least trickle some money in your pocket.
Yes.
Because on the business forum, we are talking about money. It's a platform where we talk money and how we can be busy doing some things that can eventually trickle some money in our pockets to give us that security. And here I am with ladies to ask you, how can a woman start? Should we start big? Should we start small? How can we start? We even fear to start.
Yeah. Thank you for even adding that we even fear. Get that mindset right. I'll start there. The mindset, I want something. You've already said we need something.
Yes.
And most of us are like, I need something. But we are hoping something will come like the rain, and all of a sudden you have this new house.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that way. Now, if you are in the right mindset, because the mind has to be in the right position, by the way, for you to think that you'll get the money, why don't you start with the little and the one you can access? I'll give an example. When I wanted to do the trees, it was a saving we had done for just 2 years. But the money on that account was not a lot. And I'll tell you what. Actually, I think I'll take that back. It was a lot in a way. Let me explain. Give me a chance to explain.
Yes, please.
We came up with a group with of friends, and we said we were putting money together, the circle style. And every month we were supposed to collect 150,000. Which relatively, all of us were working. 150 was not really a problem. Like it's not a crisis. But, and on that whole forum, people could afford, even if we had said 1 million, other people could afford 1 million. But we said 150. But now the challenge where I picked up and looked like I was doing good, for me, every month I was religiously depositing my what? 150. And among some of us, our friends who had enough money, those whom you can tell that, you owe 10 million and they deposited 1 million. The commitment, but I'm not saying on that group they were not committed, but maybe they were committed somewhere else. Now, me, because of my financial position, I know I can't do the millions, but I can find 150. I'm focused in 30 days. I must have an extra 150. I saved 150. And because we were with this whole group where there were financials, guys who knew accounts and all that, we did shares, we did the whole financial thing. It was a real financial kind of group. So you'd first buy in, you put in your deposit. We first started with 4M, we looked for that, then 150 every month. Then when these guys were doing the math, I actually had 16 million after 2 years. Doing the math. 16 million may not sound too much money. Because when I would travel up country, you see square miles of trees. And you keep saying, Jesus, these people, like, how do you do that? How do you have hectares? Like, you need to have like 1 billion to start. So COVID hits when I have that 16 million.
On your account?
On my account. So it's like, am I starting to chew this one? Like, buy, because 16, like, if I decide to go to the spa, it's too much. If I go to KFC, it's like too much. 16 is a lot for spending.
Yes.
I said, if I start removing 1 shilling here, by the time we don't even know, and that's when COVID, they had opened, we closed open, so we didn't even know if we'll ever open.
You don't even, even if you had to invest.
That's in that great
By the
area.
way, thank you for bringing that.
Yes.
People kept on, when I told my family, they said, you cannot invest, you don't know where COVID is taking us. People in China have closed. Now the government, this day, they open tomorrow. I said, you know what? I have land that is doing nothing. I have gone. I called some guy I knew who had trees. Like, he has square. When I say square miles, hectares. These are guys who
That's
I called
well.
Who
him.
are in deep.
Like, that is their, like, when they cut, like, he makes 100 million by chopping a quarter, So I called him. And this, you really want to do this? How much money do you have? How big is the land? He said, you start. And one of these days you'll tell me, after I've used that 16M, you are going to be looking for land. I said, no, I'm just trying to find somewhere to put my money so that I don't cheat. You know what they call investments in business? You must have short, medium, and long term.
Exactly.
Now, in my mind, the trees now are saying, let me put that in what?
In my long term.
He sends me experts. He tells me, call this guy, sells the right drugs. If you want guys who know how to plant, I'm going to send you. He sent me guys from Kabale. Guys who had
They
been
are good
used.
at it.
Yes, who had the experience. They can measure the space. The laborers I hired, got a small house, bought food for them. I did everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish I had a photo. I'll show you.
I would love to see that.
2 years, the trees are taller than this room.
Wow.
This is COVID, that fast.
Wow.
They are tall, they are huge. I am planning now, I've been hearing people saying parties in the trees. Like, I have a venue even for free now.
Yes.
But back to the point is, I started to 60. When I walk, everyone says, but are you, man, you're so rich. Do you know how much money is there? Of course, I haven't done the math. I haven't started shopping.
Yeah.
But I am so confident right now that my 16 million
First of all, you're not only looking at it as a business, but you have preserved the environment.
I've preserved the environment. I have found jobs, given people jobs, because even maintaining now, it's a continuous spraying, disease, slashing.
I mean, it's your project.
It's my project, but I am so excited. It's like that I gave birth, I swear, my firstborn. It's like, I can't believe. And the way I don't believe is because, one, 16. Whenever I tell people 16, if you see it, you will not believe it was actually 16M that I used. It looks like I used 100 million minimum.
An effective use of your money.
Effective and
at the right time.
Right time.
I focused, and when you say that, when someone said, the people told me, but you're investing, suppose that, and now you're thinking, even if they had closed us again under COVID,
4-year trees are growing.
Does that mean that the president closed the land
Exactly.
from growing? So I would have kept my money. Then I say, oh yeah, then now we go for a spa.
And
now we go for,
It was really great that you stuck to your goals, because there are groups of
Thank
men
you.
and women who made beyond an insane amount of money during COVID.
Yes.
The pharmacies were making a lot of money. The people who sold masks were making a lot of money. I had a colleague of mine, they were amongst the first people who shipped the temperature guns into this country.
Oh my God.
Even before we were assured of what COVID was.
They
said they identified what was going on in China. They said they'll have those
Sooner or
temperature
later,
guns. They bought boxes and boxes and boxes. And they moved from being students of the law school Bulijo to complete millionaires just by identifying a problem and solving it and remaining focused.
I did, and I'm so proud of myself. Back to your question. Ladies, start with what you have.
Yes.
Even if someone said right now 100,000, you see the other challenge we have as ladies, we judge. Now when we judge, Helen has trees, so now even men, let me look for 50 or 100 million.
Yeah.
Why don't you call Helen and ask her, did you actually start with 100 million? Or can my backyard have some 10 trees? And when we do that, because we keep judging ourselves with the people who are above us, have you ever thought of judging yourself against a person below you? The guys who sell chapatis, who do katogo, chips and chicken on that, they buy one chicken at 25, and they buy Irish potatoes at 1,000. They buy cooking oil, quarter a liter. Buy sigiri at 10,000 and this huge saucepan at 10. When you add that money, it's roughly 100,000. The money I've just spoken. She starts selling chips and chicken on the roadside. The next thing, she's on someone's veranda. The next thing, she has a restaurant in a trading center. The next thing, she has a restaurant on Kampala Road.
The next thing, she has built a house. She has moved into planting.
She has moved into, but she started with chips of 1,000. Now for us, it's like, I want to start. I need to be like,
how will
KFC.
even people see me
I need
when
to
I'm frying
KFC.
chips? Really?
Yeah, the perception of how will I be seen as a woman, because there's the notion that you should be a kept woman. Like when you're kept, when you're taken care of, you're essentially living the best form of life. A female's life. But then when you're tussling, you're getting out there, you're focusing, you're too manly, or you're not enjoying yourself, and yet there's a wealth of knowledge you get even in the process of growing something. There are so many people who you get to meet. You build your own networks, you build your own understanding, that to the point where anyone can call you and ask you, how do I get this done? And you can run them A to Z. And even that, you just become a consultant. Now, when we are coming to approach you on the trees, you can tell them, okay, sit down with me, this is the fee, and you run us through.
And funny enough, like you're saying that, like they're powerful names, like my area of Busoga.
Yes.
You know, we are sort of on a road, like inside, but on a road. So everyone, I think, passes and says, oh, who's street? So, of course, village people will always know. People have called me and said, I am so and so, and you know, this name.
Yes.
It's like, this family, we've known it like forever. These guys are like way up, and they're saying, we passed, what do we do? We have land. Now, the people who worked for me, actually one of the young men who did, like, was the supervisor, he's now making $1 million out of it. Because it's like, I have a man. And he keeps saying, I don't know what I will do for you. Because for me, I can tell them the advice, 1, 2, 3, here, call so and so.
Yes.
But I can't believe that people actually ask me. And I'm not a tree expert. But I now know how to maneuver the road I told you.
Exactly.
I know who sells the right drugs. I know who digs when, who does what.
And
so
even
I
that
think
small, that information which you deem Helen as small, it was a game changer in your life.
Totally. Because I have this thing, if, like we say, status quo, if everything stays the same, the weather is right, I will cut them down. I'm thinking when I'm 60, I can cut 2 trees down. But first of all, because now, like we're saying, the environment, I'm not cutting just the environment anyhow.
Yeah.
You plant, say we're taking out 10 trees. But now, because I'm into trees, I cannot cut and I don't plant.
Yes.
But I can still not fail to get food when I chop those 2 trees.
Exactly.
People have sold gardens and hectares by standing here and say, I'm taking all your maize from here to there. How much do you want? Maybe someone will stand on my trees and say, umeme, and say, you know what? this whole place is gone.
Yes.
And I say, you take, I am
And
putting.
then I replant.
But the point is, you will not believe. I'm speaking this, I don't know if you see my excitement. I can't believe. I
Yes,
can't.
yes.
I saved 150. But when these guys were doing the math, how we made our profits, because
Yes.
people would borrow and all that, I left with 16M. In a group where people are so powerful that for them 16M is on their account doing nothing.
It's another
But
day.
the point is, can you even find 100,000 right now and say, if I can't do the chips myself, can I find maybe a sister who will do the chips on the door?
Exactly.
But that person, you just work out the finance and say, I'm giving you the 100,000, but every month, every week, give me 5,000. It's better than nothing.
Yes.
Get the 5, buy food. Get the 5, drop it in there. So for me, my tip, you can start anywhere. Start with what you have.
Yes, so I want to share with you my experience in business.
Yes.
As when I joined LDC, after my Bachelor of Laws degree, I started working here. I've been in communication. I had a passion. I'm still passionate and forever I will be.
Yes.
But then later I joined LDC.
The center.
So when I went to the center is so tied up.
Yeah,
but
the
I
center
said,
will actually, you have to withdraw from a lot and
Exactly.
put your time into the center.
so I was like,
Focus.
I'm
You need to focus.
joining the center as a woman, not a girl. I'm joining the center as a person who is a mother. I'm joining the center as
Or
someone
employed.
who is employed.
Hey.
I'm joining the center as someone who has no one to call to beg for this and that. What can I do with my time here? Because I'm really held here. So I go to look for suits. At the center, it's
fit in,
suits.
yeah.
Yes, you wear it.
And then I realized that my colleagues at the center need these suits, but they don't have time.
Yeah.
They don't even have where to get them.
I like where you're going.
So I'm like, okay. For me, I made my connections, and like what she said, you need to be a person with good social capital.
Yeah.
You need to have people at least you can call when you want to start something. I have a friend whom I hosted long time ago here on one of my programs, and this man was importing suits, was doing this and this. So I'm like, hey, are you still in that business? He's like, yes. I'm like, by the way, I've noticed there is a gap here. So that person is like, okay, you can get a suit. I'll give you at this much. You can sell at this much.
Yeah.
You people.
Wow.
You made a killing.
You saw a problem, you
Ah!
identified it, and you solved it, and you made some money.
Up to now, most people know me as Maureen.
The
Of
suit
suits.
girl.
Yes, that's how they know me.
I like that.
They even get shocked that I am a lawyer. Some people even used to think I'm not a lawyer like them because of how I used to juggle my things.
Yeah.
I made sure I was spot on and I was working, I was at the center, but I made sure I utilized my time.
Yeah.
Then I got some boys in there, I would take measurements, give them, I trusted them. I managed to coordinate my things, and you people. I was one of the richest ladies students at LDC.
Suits at LDC.
You people,
That's
I saw, and also what helped me was my way of handling people.
Yes.
Even when you have the opportunity, but you are disrespecting people, you're not treating people well.
It reminds me of the times when you go to like a boutique and the salespeople are on you, they are aggressive, come,
Yeah, this
buy.
way.
It's like, that's not how you treat a customer.
Yes.
Or you find someone with a really bad attitude, or if you don't buy, they jeer you as you walk past. Now, if you jeered me the last time,
There's
how
no
will
way.
I come back to your shop?
So, people always have this thing that ladies, especially lady lawyers, are very complicated to deal with. They always,
The buyers.
yeah. But I was that soft lady lawyer, a business lady. I knew how to handle my colleagues. They would sometimes get up there and they are talking, and you know how they are. They are very. I was patient. I was persistent. Up to today,
Yes.
because of the many things I'm doing, I am not so much into it. But even at this stage, if one of my old clients calls me,
You'll
I
find
will
it.
go and work on them.
Yes.
Much as it's not something,
relationship.
yes, much as I have gone past that, I am now probably doing better things,
Yeah.
but I still want to be that lady that someone once trusted.
And
'Cause
it's
they
a
are
stepping stone. That's what
Yes.
ladies forget. You started small, but you did not intend that you're going to be selling suits for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Or maybe selling suits of 10,000. Maybe if you're moving, now start selling suits of $3,000.
Yes.
Someone to say, maybe you're a designer. That means there's a stage. You have
So it
actually
was my
moved.
short-term goal to sell them during LDC, but now that I am done with that, I have now moved into a suits clinic. I have Lady
Yeah.
Maureen's suits clinic,
Wow.
and now we tailor.
Wow.
Did you see?
We tailor.
You have moved
you
in.
know.
That stepped forward.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I no longer have time to go down there and take much time and select the best. We now tailor for you, because we know that when ladies get past the school
Yes.
level, they want different designs. They want to be.
Yes.
So now I tailor. So it's in every situation there could be an opportunity.
Yes.
Why am I
And I
sharing this
completely
today on
agree
the
with you.
business forum? We are in the Women's Month.
Yeah.
There is an opportunity everywhere.
Yes.
You need to pay a keen eye and identify, okay, what is lacking.
Exactly. What's the problem here, and how can I play a role in fixing it?
Yeah, so with that, we're going to go for a very short break and we'll be right back. This is the Business Forum on UBC Radio. It's on every Friday evening from 9:15 to 10 p.m. We are talking business as women, as ladies. Wherever you are, you can identify an opportunity. You can start small. And in our next segment, we'll be able to give you more tips to grow. But for now, keep it UBC. We'll be right back. Don't touch the dial.
At UBC Radio, all our radio network across the country is committed to inform, entertain, educate and guide for national transformation.
Our own radio, UBC, should set its own example.